Honorable Speaker, for giving me the chance to speak. Honorable Speaker, the topic that has been allocated for us today is if I was in the shoes of a 19-year-old woman from an underdeveloped country, then how would I feel if I saw from her shoes to be a mail-order bride in a developed country? Honorable Speaker, being a conscious person and according to some logical reasons, Honorable Speaker, I am not supporting this motion. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I like to, as our whip has not shown any clashes between opposition members and government members, it's my duty to show the clash, and I'm going to prove how my party has done better than them and how my party has proven better than them. Honorable Speaker, starting with the first point, I like to go to my Prime Minister. Honorable Speaker, he said about the participating of women in the society. Honorable Speaker, of a mail order bride. Honorable Speaker, our first speaker, our opposition leader, has shown how the women have to face the difficult criteria in a developed country of being a mail order bride. Honorable Speaker, and our second speaker has shown the consequences, scenarios, and the stats and the examples of what women have to face when they go from an underdeveloped country to a developed country as a mail order bride. Honorable Speaker, now showing the clashes. First of all, the Prime Minister said the women are going to participate in the society, Honorable Speaker, but my point is when a woman as a mail order bride goes to a developed country, the people all around her have a negative feeling about that. They think that she is a mail order bride because she has done theft. She's a mail order bride because she has done looting. She's a mail order bride because she has done crime. So no one comes to help her. No one gives her self-respect. As a result, her social status goes down, and as the social status goes down, she does not participate in the social activities as you're saying they're going to be elevated, Honorable Speaker. So what's the reason? What's the reason of going to a developed country when she's not respected at all? Second point, Honorable Speaker, they said that the women are given choice. Okay, I agree. The women have a choice that they're selecting the male, right? So can you guarantee me that the women are going to be safe? They're not going to be tortured when they are as a mail order bride to a developed country? You see that if you can give the guarantee, then we'll accept it. But you're not giving any guarantee because you're not showing any safe way to get out of that. Because when a woman becomes a victim of torture as a mail order bride, becomes a torture of the developed country's bridegroom, then the government has to take the responsibility, and we don't want the government to face such a worst case scenario in this mail order bride system. So the third speaker, he also said that the women are exploited but less. My question is that when a woman is exploited, okay, you're saying she's exploited but less. We know that everyone is valuable. So even no one should be exploited in a mail order bride system. You have not given any consequences or any result of what we should do to prevent such kind of scenarios. Honorable Speaker, going to the third point, they said that the agencies are gonna take care and be faithful. Honorable Speaker, let me say, according to the stats of 2013, according to mail order brides, 56.75 agencies were proved fake. They were transporting and trafficking women from the underdeveloped countries as they were a little illiterate. So they were trafficking them, they were torturing them, they were forcing them into prostitution, they were making them do inhuman acts, Honorable Speaker. Now, are you going to think according to your practical way? Are you going to think that according to mind's way, that what's going to happen according to your way? You're just giving us hypothetical answers, but you're not showing us stats. Going to the third point, I like to say that you're saying that women and men are communicating with the help of messages, but this is totally a wrong fact, because for total communication you need to have a face-to-face communication. Honorable Speaker, are you knowing what type of person I am as I'm having a video chat like this? No, you need to have a face-to-face communication. You need to face each other. You need to know each other more, not with the help of messages, emoticons, and other vibes and other internet communications. You're not going to know a person truly, never. This is a human psychology, and everyone should understand it. Third of all, Honorable Speaker, the Prime Minister said about women empowerment. But women empowerment, he means that their self-respect will be elevated. But by women empowerment, actually it means that the woman will be self-dependent. Now, Honorable Speaker, when the social outlook is low, as I said before, when the social outlook is low, they are not given the work permit. And when they are not given work permit, how will they get women empowerment? These questions are unanswered. Honorable Speaker, now again my point goes to that they are only focusing on that they will have a financial gain, they will have a social gain, they will be They will have all types of facilities. But Honorable Speaker, I think they're just trading a woman for her luck, Honorable Speaker, because it is marriage. It's a bondage of love. There's nothing you're focusing on love. You're just focusing on that they'll have a financial gain and so it's totally a type of business that you're focusing on. Honorable Speaker, our Prime Minister said the most funny thing that women are gonna feel proud and happy when they go to a developed country. Our first speaker showed several examples of how women are exploited. So are you mocking a woman's self-respect? Are you mocking the woman's self-freedom? Are you mocking a woman's freedom as she goes to a developed country and she's tortured and she's victims of all kinds of scenarios? This is totally bizarre, Honorable Speaker. Now going to the second, a Deputy Prime Minister, he said that all the criteria can take place with the help of internet, but I proved it earlier. We need verbal contact, we need face-to-face contact to meet each other well. Honorable Speaker, he also said about the social security, Honorable Speaker. Now I'd like to say something about social security. When you say social security, the developed countries have the highest rape rates in a country, as our deputy opposition leader said. First comes USA. 5 to 6 minutes. Every 5 to 6 minutes, a girl is raped in USA. So do you think this social security is enough for a woman? I think she'd be better off in her underdeveloped country than to go in a developed country and be a victim of rape. Who knows what can happen? I'm thinking as a government party, as a hypothetical. Now, Honorable Speaker, going to the second point, they said about choice, and they said about choice. I said you guarantee us that the women are going to be safe, then then you can order male bride. But when it's seen that if you can't guarantee this, and as a result the government has to face the consequences, and we don't want that. Another point we like to say that they said about the society and culture, they're going to know new culture. Honorable Speaker, fact is, when they go to know new culture and they cannot adopt with this culture, Honorable Speaker, then they grow issues with their husbands, they grow issues with their families, Honorable Speaker, and as a result they cannot develop their interaction, they cannot develop their communication. As a result, problems and issues take place, Honorable Speaker. Now, I think their government whip has shown nothing but has added new points, and Honorable Speaker, he has shown no clash and just repeated the point. The point is the women have a choice. The point is the women have a security. The point is the women have a secure life. But Honorable Speaker, according to my speech, I think I have shown clearly that how women don't get a chance for women empowerment, how women are not safe in a developed country as a mail order bride, how women do not have a good social outlook, Honorable Speaker, as a mail order bride, and Honorable Speaker, how they don't get work permits, and how they are, the most important fact, they are tortured, they are murdered, they are killed, they are exploited, Honorable Speaker. Now, I think that our Prime Minister, that our opposition leader has given several examples, not according to the Prime Minister, who has just given hypothetical thinking, Honorable Speaker. Going to our Deputy Leader, Honorable Speaker, he has shown the consequences and scenarios of how it's gonna be in case of a mail order bride, whereas our second speaker has just given and told that we give examples, but examples are not exceptions, and so they make a good point. Honorable Speaker, now I think I have shown the clash perfectly what is the duty of a whip, and I did it. So Honorable Speaker, I think that the scoreline is gonna be 3-0 because we have proved it crystal clear that this house should not focus and encourage a mail order bride of a woman going from an underdeveloped country to a when she is 19 years old. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, everyone.